Do you know how free you are? The way God is thinking about your freedom? Let's do that today as we walk here in a moment of disconnecting from the noise and taking in nature in all its color and beauty and goodness. Oops. The phone jumped around on me there, sorry about that. A little bit of nature. Big cave up there. Birds overhead. Mountains in the distance. The sun rising. A new day. The freedom we have is amazing. Both readings today in the Psalm 2 sketch great, vast horizons of freedom. And the first one is dealing with a lot of the negativity that can tie us down. And it's very simple. Let me share this with you a second. If the wicked man turns away from all the sins he committed, if he keeps all my statutes and does what is right and just, he shall surely live, he shall not die. Some people feel tied into their situation of distance from God, of opposition from God, not knowing that actually they are very loved by God. And it's possible to come away from all the negativity, all of the malaise. It's possible to start anew. This text is from Ezekiel 27 centuries ago. And it just opens up the door. We don't have to be chained in evil. That's what the evil one makes out to be. That's what the evil one tries to convince us that we are. That there's no future, no chance, no possibility. But that's absolutely not true. The responsibility is ours. The possibility is ours. The opportunity is ours. There are a number of realistic things we need to take into account. Maybe we have a habit and we're always doing that and our mind goes back there. Maybe we have a lot of imagery around us that's bringing us down. I knew a couple, both were doctors, skin doctors. And that's an expensive area of medical treatment because it's so sensitive, so delicate. And nowadays there's a big value set on appearance. So there's a big demand for this type of service of skin enhancement. But these two doctors gave free of charge to people who were in jail the possibility of removing tattoos that had a lot of negative vibes. And they wanted to help the people who were in the will to change, to remove the tattoos that brought them down. That in one time of recklessness or carelessness or lack of responsibility, lack of pondering, had painted onto their body. And it actually takes, at least the explanation I had, it was shortly before I came here. I met these people maybe about 24, 25 years ago. And we did quite a few things together. And they had to do 3 different sessions of surgery over quite some time, because the first session was to remove the first level of the tattoo, and the skin needed to recover and to heal. And then they were able to do a second round of removal and the third round, and that really did the job pretty well. And that person didn't look at their body and see all this stuff on it that was bringing them down. But maybe there's stuff also inside our way of being, our way of acting, our way of reacting, and we have developed bad habits. But we can change that. If the wicked person, and that's like painting somebody in a really bad place, and sometimes people are there, filled with hatred or revenge, filled with ugliness toward others, very foul language, always angry. If the wicked man turns away from all the sins he committed, he shall surely live, he shall not die. None of the crimes he committed shall be remembered against him. This is the word of God. None of the crimes he committed shall be remembered against him. He is going to be free. He is going to be liberated. His debt is written off. This is Ezekiel. This is 6 centuries before Christ. This is very strong. And we're living in a world where a lot of evil happens. And it's still happening today on a massive scale. Human trafficking and slavery are thriving. So we tend to look out there as well, but maybe we just look in our own hearts, and there can be very negative attitudes in our families, very hostile mutual relationships, maybe major relationship difficulties between spouses, between siblings, between neighbors. Mount Arbel is so green, and it was so brown, and our souls could be so dried up, a withered plant, an uprooted plant. And the Lord is telling us here we can be restored, we can bloom again. There were a lot of measures taken so things wouldn't grow here, but we have to be on top of it all the time to keep a clean area here. This all grew back. This was all underwater. Now it's 6, 8, 10 feet high plants. It was underwater for 6, 7 years, and now it has come back again because the water receded. The wicked man can change. The person who has a very troubled interior, very restless negativity that's keeping us focused away from the good, from bringing peace into our family, into our marriage, into our home, into sibling relationships, extended family relationships. It's possible to change. This is marvelous. We are free. None of the crimes shall be remembered against him. This is a quotation from Ezekiel. None of the crimes shall be remembered against him. None of the crimes. I mean, what a write-off. Writing off all the debt. Writing off all that fountain of continual negativity inside our spirit. And we are called to be free of this, completely free. And it's a terrible burden to have to carry. It's a terrible burden. And we can be free. And maybe this also changes our attitude to every criminal, our attitudes to every drug lord, our attitudes to every terrorist. They can be freed. And we know there are quite a few stories out there about drug lords that have changed. There are stories about terrorists who have changed. They are children of God, made in his image and likeness. And we can provide a culture where people can come back. This text is revolutionary. And this question God asked, rhetorical question, is so powerful. Do I indeed derive any pleasure from the death of the wicked? This could also be a conscience question for us. Because maybe we rejoice over the death of somebody. This would be terrible. This would be so inhuman. This would be so dark. The light would fade from us. We cannot hate anybody. Let's read that line again. Do I indeed derive any pleasure from the death of the wicked? And I think every one of us, also Christians, need to ask us this question. Ask ourselves this question. There's such political division, such political estrangements, such verbal violence, even on the media today, assaults against people. Accountability is one thing. And asking people in leadership who've been entrusted with responsibility for others, asking about why this is that way and how can it be changed, those are valid questions. But personal assaults against the person, we have to develop a new culture, and this is to be taught to the children. Little children should know this as well, that their faults and mistakes and moments of revenge and anger and screaming, they can be forgotten. There can be a new beginning. We can be free. Let me jump to the gospel for a moment, because there's another level of freedom there. And it's the freedom to go to somebody who has something against me. Good morning. Having a nice walk this morning. You're having a nice walk this morning.
Yeah, hear the music?
Yeah, that's a drug type of situation up there. Pray for those people. They're out there all night. There's drugs and all kinds of stuff.
I know, I should.
Pray for them.
Yeah.
Pray for them.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you know how to get to the beach? Go around
To get, first of all, there's not really beach along here.
Right.
There is beach here, but it's all a swamp right now.
Yeah.
Okay? But if you can get down to the water itself, you could get down. And you go down the service road here.
I took that.
Yeah, and if you go down quite a ways, the ground is solid. It's a bit rocky to get down there, to climb down there. You need to bring one or two people with you, help each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have sticks.
Maybe go along the road and go to that
No, not the
beach.
big road. The service road here.
Oh, yeah, up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are
tried
beaches
this
further
way.
down as well, but that's quite a ways to walk.
All right. Yeah.
God bless you. We're doing a live stream here. Where are you from?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. You got a friend in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Yeah.
That used to be on the bumper stickers when I was driving through Pennsylvania and I was on my internship in Michigan. The bumper sticker for Pennsylvania was, "You've got a friend in Pennsylvania." And Connecticut was the Constitution state, and New York was the Big Apple, and Michigan was the Great Lakes state, and Wisconsin was the dairy state, and Idaho was the potato state, but it's also the gem state. Now this gospel line is so marvelous. It says, "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall not kill.' But I say to you, you shall not be angry with your brother." Now let's say a brother is angry with me. Then the next step is, if you're going to pray in the temple, leave your gift there and go and reconcile with your brother. So we are free to do it. God says, "I'm not needing your gift at the temple. I need you to go to reconcile with your brother. Find out from your brother what's holding him up, your sister, what's stopping our relationship. What do I need to change to show them this extraordinary love? To make the first step, I can do the first step. The only big mountain that stops me doing the first step many times is my own fear, my own reluctance, and I don't need to be like that. I can do that first step. I can change. I am very free, much freer than I ever knew I was to do good. As free as God was to create this world, this universe, to create me, I am free to do good. I am free to encourage others. I am free to lift up somebody who has fallen and broken. And I am free to invite others to help me because it's too much for me to do it. People, discover our freedom. There's a wonderful line about trusting in God also in the Psalm. So you can look at that. You have the link there. God bless you. You are free to do amazing good. You are free to leave every bit of evil in your life. And God is there. We trust in Him completely to help us. See you later, alligators. God bless you.